What's up, everybody? It's KJ52 here. Thank you for tuning into 52 Academy. Today we're actually going to be talking about you can't get caviar at McDonald's. That'll be explained more in a minute. But for the practical teaching time, I'm not actually going to be teaching it. My man Todd Collins, Beatmart Records, Goatee Records, producer extraordinaire, is actually going to be taking over the last part of the teaching. He's going to be talking about producer theory. So tune in, check it out. God bless. Okay, so today we're talking about the different aspects of music. Okay, and the title of this is You Can't Get Caviar at McDonald's. And when we talk about music all the time, we talk about the two extremes, commercial and underground. Okay, and generally people that are underground rappers or into underground hip hop or lyricists, people that are into the aspect of lyricism, look down on the people that are commercial, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Vice versa.
And vice versa. And so I thought the best way to really illustrate this when it comes to music is to understand that music is food. Okay, how is music food? Well, if you think about music and you think about food, they're two very similar things. Food takes time to prepare. Food needs raw elements brought together to be consumed. Music takes raw elements, the lyrics, the beats, the samples, the whatever. All these come together and they're consumed when you listen to them. Now we all know there's different kinds of things that you can eat. Okay, on the one extreme, I'm going to have what I would like to call junk food music. Okay. We'll take this and give me an example of what you would think of junk food. Disposable music.
50 Cent.
Soulja Boy.
Okay.
Soulja Boy.
Yeah, that's
Soulja Boy. Okay, obviously he's kind of one of the guys that are real popular right now.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty much, you can almost say anything that's coming out in hip hop. A lot of that is that ringtone rapper style. You know what I mean? Which is, it's meant to be consumed really quickly.
Nas is on my ringtone.
That's a little different. But you know what I mean? The music is meant to be consumed very fast. It's not a lot of thought or skill maybe goes into it, so to speak, or at least we don't think it does.
Nope.
And once you eat it, consume it, you chew it up and you throw it away, right? On the other hand, we have what I like to call the gourmet aspect of music, okay? This would be what I would call the caviar of music, okay? Now you just brought up something very important. What's the first thing he said when I brought out the caviar? He said, ugh. And did you know that this is what most people, the average person, thinks about underground music and lyricism and all the things that we value as MCs or producers?
I take it back.
No, you can't take it back. You can't take it back, and you can't take it back out there either, because almost all you guys illustrated the point that we failed to realize, that the average person looks at what we do when it comes to lyrics and underground hip-hop and all these things, and they go, bleh. Now, you take this to the country club, to the people that really are all about the finer things of life, or they're about the now obviously with caviar you take it, there's a lot more work that goes into eating caviar. We think of caviar, we think of the rich and famous, we think of people that have wealth, people that have time to dedicate to. When we think of McDonald's, we think of mass production, we think of rolling through. Now what I wanted to explain to you guys and those out there that are tuning in, these both cost the exact same amount. This cost me $6, and this cost me $6. But with my $6 at McDonald's, I got more than just napkins. With my $6 at McDonald's, I was able to get 5 cheeseburgers. Now, did you notice that Mr. MC over here, what's he reaching for?
The caviar.
No, he's not. He's reaching for the McDonald's. And did you know most people, if I present the two things, they're going to reach for McDonald's every time. This is why underground music does not sell, and mainstream music sells a lot. Why? Well, you can hold on.
Okay.
The point what I'm trying to make is this is meant to be mass produced. It's meant to be mass consumed. It's meant to be done cheaply, quickly, efficiently. You eat it up, you chew it, and you toss it away and you move on. Ringtone rap, commercial rap, severely commercial rap is meant to be consumed, chewed up, spit, and moved on. That's why most of these guys that are what we would call one-hit wonders never build careers.
Look what the fast food does to you, bro.
What does it do to you?
It makes you unhealthy.
Makes you unhealthy.
Burns a hole in your pocket.
Burns a hole. Well, you spend a lot of money. Now, you're bringing up great illustrations if you think about it. He said, what does fast food do to you? It makes you sick. If you eat too much of it, it'll make you fat. And it probably is, you can end up spending a lot of money on it. Now, think of mainstream music, commercial music. It's consumed by the millions. It's $1 billion business, okay? And most of what it's pushing into you is nothing but junk food. There's no health, there's no nutrition, there's no thought-provoking aspects. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if you go up to the average 4-year-old and say, do you want a cheeseburger, little boy? Or do you want what Uncle KJ has in his box? What's the kid going to say? Cheeseburger! Think about it this way. Do you have to develop a taste for cheeseburgers?
Nope.
No. You
Oh,
just
man.
naturally like it. Nobody goes, I developed a fine taste for McDonald's. It took me a long time to really appreciate McDonald's for what it is. But I was really exposed to it at a young age, and now I am older, I appreciate it. Of course not! Nobody thinks that about McDonald's. You shove it in a 3-year-old's face and he eats it with his Happy Meal. Okay? Because it's packaged for that kid. Think about 4-year-olds. Think about us as little kids, as young people. We are conditioned to want this and not this. Okay? Now, if I maybe gave you this for a little while, maybe you might develop a taste for it and go, yeah, I actually like caviar. Maybe not. Maybe you will. I don't really care. But the point is, to develop into underground lyricists, all those aspects, the other extreme of hip-hop music, you have to develop a taste for it. Now, this wasn't even planned in what I wanted to talk about, but it's funny. When I went to go buy these just a few minutes ago, I walked up to 4 different people in Publix going, do you know where the caviar is? First person goes, what's caviar? Go to the second person. Oh, come over here to aisle 3. It's nothing on aisle 3. Okay, now if I really want caviar, I got to keep hunting. That guy still doesn't know where caviar is, and he works there. He brings me to the third person, who still doesn't know. 4 people later, I finally find the caviar. In other words, if you want to get underground music, you got to hunt for it. If you want lyricism, you got to hunt for it. You got to want it. Do you think most people want to work that hard? Of course not. If I asked anybody in this room, or even a 2-year-old, where's the nearest McDonald's, he's going to go right there. It's not hard to find. Okay? The point is, this is readily more accessible because it reaches a bigger crowd. Okay? Now, another example was, I went in Publix, lights are nice, or whatever, It was shopping is a pleasure at Publix. When I went to McDonald's to buy these cheeseburgers, this is how I was greeted. What you need? Everyone in McDonald's looks like they hate their job. Everyone in McDonald's looks angry, they're upset, they are not enjoying what they're doing. No one walks up to McDonald's, hi, how are you? Great to have you here, what do you want? Nobody takes pride in that job because what they're doing is something that they don't enjoy. And the same goes for mainstream mass appeal music. There's no pride in it. Most of the guys that are doing it, they're doing it for the money. Okay? So it just proves my point is this. Wherever you fall in here, it's not about whether one is better than the other. It comes down to how do you make it. In other words, you can make a good McDonald's burger and a bad McDonald's burger. You can make good caviar and bad caviar. Go ahead, you had a point.
Maybe some people like the taste of caviar in their cheeseburgers.
That's a good point.
Hey.
Maybe you can find a mix between the two. I don't really have a long Bible study today. I'd really just have a verse. I'm not even going to open the Bible to read it. It's Colossians 3:23. It says, whatever you do, do it with all your heart and do it unto the Lord. Meaning, whatever you're making, whatever your music is, do it with all your heart. There's nothing wrong with McDonald's in its moderation. There's nothing wrong with caviar in moderation. Eat only caviar and eat only McDonald's, you're messed up. But if you're going to make lyrics, if you're going to have underground music, do it to the very best of your ability. Be the best caviar you can be. If you're going to make McDonald's mass appeal music, make it the best McDonald's you can make. See, the key isn't whether one is better than the other. Sure, people that eat caviar look down on people that eat McDonald's. Let's be honest, people that are like into the lyricism of underground music, they look down on anybody that's into mass appeal stuff. But the truth be told, at the end of the day, it comes down to what you do with your gift.